We'll go ahead and get started as people join. For those out there, I'm Jeff Larson, principal here at Glacier Peak. We'll have everybody introduce yourself. Mr. Higgins, do you want to start?
Hi there, everyone. I'm Lloyd Higgins, one of the assistant principals here at Glacier Peak, and we're looking forward to seeing your students next week.
Hi, everyone. I'm Holly Applegate. I'm one of the other assistant principals at Glacier Peak, and we're glad you're here with us tonight.
Brittany Elliott, I'm a math teacher here at Glacier Peak, and I'm also doing my admin internship.
All right, thanks guys. Lance Peters would be here, but we have senior night volleyball tonight, so he's down in the gym supervising volleyball. Excited to have activities, athletics underway. And behind the scenes, we have Carrie Winkler and Kramer Kales helping make this happen. This video or this webinar is also recorded, so the information said tonight will be posted to look back if need be. So once again, thanks for joining us. I'm going to share the screen real quick and show you the bell schedule. This will be the bell schedule beginning next week, March 29th. Let me start with that and give people a chance to take a look at it. For those out there, you'll notice it is a 3 lunch bell schedule. That's because we have right around 1,000 students have committed to returning to in-person. With half the student body, you can do the math. So around 500 to 600 students per day, we anticipate, with our cafeteria holding almost 200 people. We elected to go 3 lunches because 2 would have put us a little over capacity. We don't want, if we could avoid pushing the limits and having to put chairs down the hallway, that we wanted to. Little bit, 3 lunches gives us smaller numbers in the cafeteria. That puts us at about 170 or so in the cafeteria. Students will have more room, more opportunities, more seats to choose from. More students will have the opportunity to be outside when the weather's nice, and much easier just to supervise and manage. It worked well with our math department and special ed department. Volunteered to take B lunch, so students that have math or special education class 4th period will go to 4th period for a half hour. We'll have lunch for a half hour, and then we'll return back to that 4th period class for a half hour. So just wanted people to see what the daily schedule will look like. Lunches will be determined by students' 4th period teachers. So when they are here at school, we'll have information posted all over the school so they'll know exactly what lunch to take. Kids that are remote, obviously with B lunch, same thing. You have 4th period for a half hour. They'll be able to turn their Zoom off for that lunch period and then join back for the second half of 4th period. You can see Fridays, everybody Zooms in remotely for 20-minute classes, and they'll go to all of their classes similar to now. We have 25-minute periods now. It'll go down to 20 minutes beginning next week. So that is the bell schedule. We'll get this posted right away on our website. In addition to that, we'll take questions if there's any questions on that. If you're interested in changing cohorts, Ms. Applegate, do you want to talk about that process in that form?
Yeah. So if your student is in a cohort and for whatever reason wants to switch to a different cohort, all they need to do is reach out to their counselor. You can actually reach out as well, and the counselor will have a link to a survey that needs to be completed in order to for the request to be reviewed. Once the request has been reviewed, we will notify you whether it was approved or declined. We will actually go through the process of changing their cohort through our end and then let you know. And we're going to be doing that all week long and probably into next week. So go to the counselor first, and then you will hear a confirmation from us. Students can also go through a process of changing their modality. Mr. Larson, did you want me to talk about that as well? So if students signed up to be completely in person and change their mind and they want to switch to completely remote, they can also do the same thing, reach out to their counselor, and they'll complete a change of modality request form, and we'll be communicating our decision to families. If if a student wants to go from remote to in-person, we will consider those based on a space. space available. So we'll be reviewing how many seats are available in each of the students' classes throughout the day and respond with a yes or a no. So we'll be trying to accommodate as many requests as possible, space permitting. We want to be flexible and we want to give kids chances and opportunities that they deserve and meet all the safety guidelines at the same time.
Great, thanks, Holly. The last thing, and then we'll start with the questions. And again, if you have questions, please put them in the chat and we'll do our best to get through them. There may be still a little confusion on who comes when. So beginning next week, Monday the 29th, in person is for freshmen and seniors who have chosen to return to in-person learning. Everybody, 9 through 12, will be on the schedule that I just shared. So school first period will start at 7:30 in the morning for all students. The only students on campus will be freshmen and seniors that chose to be on campus. And on that Monday, it's only cohort A, so last names A through K, unless you've had a cohort change approved. Students in cohort B will not attend any classes. 9 through 12, cohort B, nobody attends classes. They can look on Canvas to see if their teachers have posted anything to review or to keep working on what they have been working on, but it's not new learning. So once again, cohort A begins Monday the 29th. Freshmen and seniors who chose in person will be in person. Everybody else remote. Tuesday then, cohort A is not attending any classes. They will look on the Canvas to continue what they did on that Monday, but they will not attend any classes. They can, however, on your off cohort day, you can join for office hours. That's 9:25 to 9:50 during that 25-minute period. Cohort day or not is when you can Zoom in to access your teachers. But other than that, if it's your non-cohort day, you're not Zooming into classes, you're not attending classes, you're just looking on Canvas for any work to continue working on. So Tuesday, cohort B, those that chose in person, ninth graders and 12th graders will be on campus. Everybody else in cohort B Zooms in. Friday, again, everybody Zooms in. After spring break, this is where there may be a little bit of confusion. Sophomores and juniors begin in person with the freshmen and sophomores. So it's all of the students, 9-12, beginning April 12th in cohort A will be on campus in person together. All students, cohort A, 9 through 12. On the 13th, all students 9 through 12, cohort B will be in person. So I hope that clears up that. So with that, we'll start with questions. I know everybody on here will be replying to some of them. Right in the chat, we'll verbalize many of them as well. I'll take the first one I saw while the others are getting their questions lined up. I saw, please explain how and the timing of student COVID testing. We are not testing students for COVID. They are testing some students at the elementary school, some of our special ed students. As you know, the district is participating in a volunteer testing program, but that's very limited and that's for financial reasons. But generally speaking, our gen ed kids at Glacier Peak High School are not testing. If a student does test positive or is a close contact, we also do not determine who may be a close contact. What we will do is, if notified by the Department of Health, we will provide as much information to the Department of Health as we can, which is why in every class and lunch, students will be assigned seats in seats 6 feet apart, so that if anybody at school is positive or the Department of Health tells us that they are close contact, we will be able to tell them, if they need it, who has been around them each period of the day and at lunch and under what conditions. So I hope that helps. But as far as testing students, we're not testing students. So that was the first one I saw. Lloyd, Holly, Brittany.
Are you ready for another question?
Yeah.
Questions about this parent is saying that they saw that something about remote kids would get different assignments than in-person kids. And what is being done to ensure remote kids get the same quality or level of education as in-person kids?
So for the most part, they will not be different assignments. Now, there could be, when you think of things, a chem lab, maybe PE, maybe foods, where hands-on, maybe manufacturing, where I can see we just can't ask students at home to replicate what's happening in the lab, whether it's manufacturing, the shop, whether it's the science lab, whether it's the foods room. So it would be an alternative assignment, just as we do under normal conditions when a student is not able to attend that particular lesson. So that could be a case where the assignment could vary a little bit. Other than that, it's no different. Students are not going to be treated differently, whether they're in person or remote. The expectations will be the same. Brittany, I'll let her think about, may want to talk to math. Our math teachers are not going to expect our in-person students to do an assignment with our remote students doing a different assignment. Did you want to add anything to that, Brittany?
No, I would just agree with you. As a teacher myself, my kids are going to be doing exactly the same things, whether you are remote or whether you are in person.
The difference, of course, if we're just being honest, is it's easier for teachers to see the kids who are in person, what they're doing. They'll be able to make sure that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. We can't tell necessarily at home or as easy. Just the eye contact, the body language. I'm not saying it's a better education by any means, but the difference is students in person, the teachers can see them. And I think that's the only difference. But in terms of expectations, assignments, there, for the most part, is no difference. Like I said, exceptions for those hands-on assignments. It's a long-winded answer, but it's a difficult question to answer because it depends a little bit on the class and a little bit on the assignment. Bottom line, the same expectations, whether you're remote or in person, students need to receive the best we can offer, period.
One question here asks, will there be a senior sunrise when kids come back to school? That's more like a senior activity question.
Yeah, no, and those things are, we love those things as part of a comprehensive high school, but no, one, it's one cohort at a time, so it will not be, the whole senior class. And two, we can't sponsor something that's not part of our safety plan. We would have to ensure the attestation, the social distancing, the mask wearing. So no, we're not sponsoring that. Are students talking about doing something on their own? I don't know. Again, that's not school related, but we're not sponsoring that. We're not promoting that. And aside from the safety reasons, we wouldn't want to do something that splits the class where not everybody could be part of.
Another one, Mr. Larson, and you already spoke a little bit about our office hours, but will there be office hours after school? So maybe, I don't know if people were in here yet when you talked about the time of day and the class period and the office hours structure.
Let me share that, and then I'll have Brittany add anything, just speaking from a teacher point of view. So the office hours each day, Monday through Thursday, folks can see is 9:25 to 9:50. Is there opportunities before school or after school, 7 to 7:30, 2:17 to 2:30? I think there is, but that would be the student working that out with the teacher. And I think for the most part, if students communicate with the teacher and say, is there a time, could we meet after school? Could we Zoom after school to clarify questions? I believe that'll be absolutely okay. It's just a matter of arranging the day and time to make sure the communication is clear. Brittany, anything to add from a teacher point of view on that?
I really think that with half of our classes in our classrooms each day, we're going to really have some great opportunities to connect with each kid. Rather than 32 in a class, we have somewhere in between 14 and 17 kids. So it's really a lot more manageable to have conversations with teachers in class. And that's what we're hoping for. But also we have that office hour to ensure that kids get the help they need.
Great questions.
This is a question about 504s will 504 accommodations be met, and will the student or family be contacted? And I can speak to 504s if you would like me to.
Yeah, you bet.
So all of our students who have 504s, teachers have a copy of all of their accommodations. We're working with teachers, and the counselor is the case manager. So if at any point there's a concern around a 504, you would first want to reach out to the counselor. If that doesn't work, obviously one of us is available to answer any questions around 504s. But regardless of the remote or in-person, all teachers should be following the 504 accommodations. Please reach out to teachers when you have a concern about a specific accommodation. Whether your child has selected in-person or to stay remote is kind of dependent on how they will go about accommodating your student. So yes, this is a legal document that we will be having full support on in our classrooms. Please reach out if that's not happening.
I'm jumping in here, and if you guys have addressed this, just let me know. I saw, Brittany's answering the question with the lanyards. If your student has allergies, is a note from the doctor, all they need to return to school? Yeah, that would be fine. There's going to be, that's a tricky thing. If a student has a runny nose or a cough, does it automatically mean that they cannot attend school and we assume it's COVID? No, it does not automatically assume that, but that's why we have fortunately, a really, really good school nurse. She will evaluate students and to her best judgment, make that call if we see that, no, this is okay. And then they'll ask questions like that is, do you have allergies? This happened before, but through her evaluation, we'll determine our next step with the student. So they're not automatically sent home with one of those, with one symptom.
One question asked about COVID safety during bus rides.
I know our transportation safety plan is on the district website. I would ask people to refer to that. We did not write that one, so I don't want to misspeak or misrepresent anything from transportation. I'm not trying to be a politician or get out of answering it. I would just refer to the transportation safety plan to make sure it's accurate.
Mr. Larson, one more question, and I'm not quite sure. I'm a little confused, but why are some teachers still treating video time as participation? My student is on video office hours and still sometimes the one of few students online, but some teachers aren't happy with full participation. I'm not quite sure.
I'm not quite sure. I would say if there's a question about anything like that, though, contact the teacher or us if there's confusion on what's happening, if the student's being counted as absent or present, or if it's affecting the grade. But I think that might be a specific situation to let's communicate with the teacher or get us in the loop so we can help gather information.
This question is referring to our cleaning process, the specific where how often are high contact points going to be cleaned, but maybe we could review just how we're cleaning our classrooms and our materials.
Yeah, and Holly, if you want to take that, you know exactly, you've been a huge part of helping with the safety plan. So do you want to hit that one?
Yeah, I would strongly encourage all families and students to review our safety plan. We have very clear guidance in there around how often we're cleaning and our cleaning process, whether it's in our classrooms, in our restrooms, in our common areas. Our custodians will be cleaning all high point surface areas every single day. In our classrooms, students will have access to disinfectant wipes, and the surfaces of their desks may be cleaned by the student. Shared materials will be cleaned by students before each use with wipes. We'll have all sorts of stations placed throughout our building of hand sanitizer and wipes that kids can use at any point during the day. And we are avoiding we're avoiding unnecessary use or distribution of materials unless absolutely important to use.
Thanks, Holly. I'm seeing what is the schedule for the online students? So I'm going to share this once again, because this is a good question. Whether you're remote or in person, everybody is on the same schedule beginning Monday the 29th. So there's no more 9:30 to 12:30 starting Monday. And that's really important. If students chose to stay remote, they also are on the daily schedule 7:30 to 2:17. So does that mean that they're zooming into 6 classes? It does. So the online schedule is the same as the in-person schedule. Everybody follows the same schedule beginning Monday the 29th. Are kids allowed to ride bikes to school? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uphill both ways, I think.
Mr. Higgins and I had to do that. You guys didn't. We're older.
In the snow.
I can speak to laptops. There's some questions around how do I receive a laptop? You may come into our school right now and come to the main office and check out a laptop. We do have some available right now for immediate checkout. We're in the process of trying to determine how many more we need to request from the district, but there are some available right now. Please come by tomorrow or at your convenience and check one out.
I'm seeing a testing question. How will testing be handled to ensure testing is fair for in-person versus remote students? Testing will be very similar to what it is now. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. The question seemed, or the comment, it seems like policies should be established and not handled individually by each teacher. But it does need to be handled by each teacher. Again, an art exam could be very different than a chem exam, could be very different than a PE exam. Different ways to administer it, timed, untimed through Canvas. And again, Brittany could speak to this more intelligently because she has been assessing students, but it's remote learning has been one of the big challenge. Let's just be honest, real big challenge with test security and homework. How do we know people are doing their own work? You don't oftentimes. It is much easier to monitor that in person, but to ensure that testing is fair, I guess I would look at it as we want to make sure that we're giving each student the opportunity to demonstrate what they know. We're always concerned with academic integrity, but we're also concerned with students being able to demonstrate what they know, and are they able to demonstrate that they've mastered the content? And you can do that in a number of different ways, but do we want students to be compliant? Absolutely, but we're also maybe more concerned with, can they demonstrate what they know? Brittany, did you want to add anything to assessments?
Sorry, I was typing.
People are typing and answering questions. It's hard to do at once.
Sorry. I plan on continuing the testing process as I am right now. I currently have students in person. They're going to test in person. Maybe I'll print out a paper for them so they can take an assessment on paper copy, but the kids online are still going to do the same thing that they're going to do that I'm doing right now. If you want clarification from your teachers, I would love my students to email me and say, hey, Miss Elliott, what's going to happen? How are we going to test? And I'd love to give that feedback. So if I were you, I'd email teachers if you have a question about those things.
There's some questions here about charging computers. All of our classrooms are going to have power strips that we've ordered. So every single classroom is going to have multiple outlets to plug in. Our classrooms are also going to have some spare charging cords that are fit to our student laptops. So there will be plenty of space to do that. We do ask, come with your computer charged and ready to go. And we know people might have to borrow it. You forgot your cord and you need to charge at lunch or something. We're going to make it work. Kids who have PE are going to have the opportunity to charge in the locked locker room while they're at PE. So that's a good opportunity to charge things up. But we are asking, have it charged up when you come, and we'll help troubleshoot the problems when they're here. In terms of the BYU classes, there's a question about if we're taking a BYU class and need to take a final with a proctor, can we do this now? You want to reach out to your counselor to schedule your proctored exam through BYU. They do them all throughout the year. So they're the ones who are establishing the procedure for how and when to get those done. But they would love to hear from you, and they're probably eager to help you wrap those classes up.
Looks like Brittany, are you addressing the lunch question? Thank you. Just as it looks like we might be slowly winding down on this. The truth is, I'm looking at Lloyd, who's spent a lot of time around football, the high school coaching professional level, and we have a game plan. And we feel like we're ready for everything that's coming our way. And the truth is, there are some things we probably don't know what we don't know. And as we get students here and students in front of us and remoting in and seeing the lunchroom, the attestation, we will adjust accordingly. If there's a way to be a little bit safer, more efficient, we're going to adjust. So we're excited about the plan we have. We feel very confident and prepared, but we also know that we don't know what we don't know. But our eyes are wide open, and we will be monitoring and adjusting every period of every day. We'll be meeting with our safety committee of 23 folks regularly to review what's happening. And bottom line is, number one, we want to continue to make sure we're being safe. We're following all the guidelines, that we're not negligent in any way. Safety is always a priority, COVID or not. Secondly, we want to look at the quality of education that we're providing. Will it be as good as normal situations? I don't know how anybody could say that. We're in school, 2 days a week plus 20 minutes on Fridays. I don't think that's as good as 5 days a week, but we're going to do the best we have with what we have. And then the third is extremely important to us to develop, maintain, and continue to build relationships with kids. We can talk about academics all day long, but our philosophy here is we think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and we need to help students with their physiological needs. We need to make sure they feel safe, secure, confident, prepared to learn before we can ask them to learn. So safety, number one. Academics, we know there's a lot of pressure on us to deliver the best we can in this model, but also we need to make sure students socially and emotionally are prepared to be at their best, to receive the information. So those three things really make up our mission, and we're excited about the challenge. We know that we'll improve every week, but we're ready. We couldn't be more excited for Monday. I'm reading it here as well, guys. Is there a reason it's 2 days on and 2 days asynchronous instead of all 4 days on, 2-person, 2 remote? That's a complicated answer that I honestly would be hesitant to comment on. I'm not part of, none of us on this screen are part of the work between the district and the association. I think there's a lot of good reasons we landed where we were. Do all of us wish it was a little bit more? I think so, but we also have to be really careful not to overpromise, underdeliver. We need to make sure we can provide what we're doing safely. I think we're out ahead of most schools, if not every school in our area. Schools now that we're not planning on coming back are really scrambling to meet the governor's directive of having K-12 in person to some degree by April 19th. So would I stand here in front of you to say we have the perfect plan, the perfect answer? No, I don't think there is such a thing, but I think we're doing the very best with what we can, with what we have, with the information we know. So again, trying not to be a politician, but trying to be honest. And I thought there was one more question under there.
Anything that parents can do to help teachers?
I really appreciate that. This is a partnership. And first I would say, let us know if there's anything we can do to support you. We all play a role in this. I think what we're really pushing with our staff and students and each other is to not give up. I don't mean to sound cold or insensitive, but we have a motto. It's work hard, demand excellence, no excuses. It's easy to make excuses, to say, well, we have this. There's a lot of reasons to take the easy way out, and we don't want to do that. We think it's important to build resilience. We think it's important to persevere. We think it's important to prove to yourself that you can do hard things. So I think what can we do to support teachers is let's continue to help students know that, hey, it's okay to work hard. Keep believing in yourself. You care, we care, and just do your best. My hope is that kids just do their best and that they care. They care about themselves and they have a passion for something. So that probably wasn't the answer you were expecting, but I'm speaking more than just a principal, as a parent myself. I want more than anything from my boys to never give up and to do their best. And I can live with whatever happens if they do their best. Lloyd, Holly, Brittany, did you have anything to add in terms of supporting teachers?
I just think it's important that we're all patient with each other, and we need to be patient with students who we're welcoming back for the first time in a year. And we need to be very patient for teachers who've gone through a lot of transitions and shifts from last March when we went full remote and didn't know what was going on, to coming back in a virtual setting, and now shifting to kind of a semi-virtual, semi-in-person. And it takes a lot of flexibility and patience. And so we're just asking everybody to be mindful of that. And we're always here to troubleshoot and figure out how to make things better. But the initial beginning is going to be kind of a little tense and rough for everybody. So just giving each other grace.
I concur, exactly. I think that it's going to be very exciting and interesting to see how things work out. We have a plan in place, like Mr. Larson expressed, but we really won't know how they'll play out because kids will be entering the building for the first time in over a year. So that's going to be a kind of a new challenge for all of us. And I just think that we'll learn a lot more after 2 weeks than we know right now. And so we'll continue to do the best we can and give it our best effort.
Mrs. Elliott, you're a teacher. Tell us what you need from parents.
I think an email to your teacher that said, hey, you know what? We're all in this together. Just a little word of encouragement. That would mean a lot to me, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see those kids.
As I think, getting close to wrapping up here, this hasn't been asked, but I think it's on people's mind more than we would ever say out loud. I think it's important to hear our philosophy that we believe that it's important to be, a lot of people throw out these words. They're important words and they're big words, but sometimes organizations and people don't walk the talk. They throw out the words equity and inclusive and respect, but sometimes their actions don't align with that. It's extremely important to us that we are respectful of everyone's opinion in this process. We are not going to make anything we do political. We are a schoolhouse, and your opinion on COVID, your opinion on vaccines, your opinion to return to in-person or not is a personal choice that should be respected and accepted. Our job is, we are not going to question how people feel. The range of emotions and opinions on all of these range from A to Z. We all know that. And that's nobody's business. Our job is to educate kids, is to respect the choices that families and students make. We're not going to go around asking teachers about vaccines, asking families. We're going to educate kids. We're going to teach the curriculum. We're going to support them socially and emotionally. We're going to be a school. And so I think it's sometimes just important to say out loud, we're not saying, I don't know why everybody's not coming to school. Why not? We're not saying, I can't believe we're open school. No. We're going to provide the best education and the best experience for students that chose in person. And we're going to do the same for the students who chose remote. Because what I do know is we all are GP. So we're proud of the fact that we walk the talk, we hit issues head on. We're not a political place. We're a schoolhouse, we're Glacier Peak, and we're going to support students and provide them with the education they deserve. So sometimes I just like saying that out loud because I just question some organizations. They say it, but they don't always do it. So we're very proud of what we stand for at GP. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions. Is anybody else?
No.
No, I think we answered all that were posted.
All right, we sure appreciate you joining us. Questions come up between now and as the weeks go on, please just contact us. We love to talk to folks. Email us, text us, call us, schedule an appointment to come on in. We want the same thing as you. We want what's best for the students. This is their experience. They deserve our best. They deserve to be safe. They deserve to be part of something bigger than themselves, and they deserve access to a great education. So we're excited to see them, whether it's in person or remote. Can't wait for Monday. Lloyd, anything else?
No, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. And we're just anticipating new beginnings, because there will be new beginnings for a lot of students.
Ms. Applegate.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see all the kids. I'm really excited to see how we move forward with our lives. Do something fun.
Great, and you've done a great job. 1 foot in the classroom, 1 foot as admin intern. Anything to wrap up tonight?
Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it.
All right, I'm excited because I'm going to go down and watch the rest of senior night volleyball. So have a great night, everybody. We'll see you soon.